Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Eric with American Business Systems, and we want to get started this afternoon on your webinar. Today's topic is how to start a business that won't fail. So, if you've never met me before, let me introduce myself. My name is Eric Auger. I wear many different hats here at ABS, been around with them for almost 15 years. And looking forward to spending the afternoon with you. Let me tell you a little bit about American Business Systems. It is in its 27th year. Again, this is a company that is proud of their heritage and their history. As you'll see here in just a moment, Patrick will share a little bit about he and his family. But this is a family business that, again, has been around for a lot longer than 27 years, obviously. But to work with folks like yourself that are getting started and they want to have an entrepreneurial business format and platform, ABS has been doing this medical billing for the last 27 years. So that's all that they've ever done. If you'll please go out to our website, it's absystems.com. You'll see a lot that you can find there. You can find out about the business package. You can find out obviously about us, the business package, the income potential. Check out the news. All of that, it has blogs and everything. You'll see over there in the right-hand corner. We'll talk a little bit about that also, about the Facebook and the Twitter pages. So you can go check us out there, watch the videos, listen to videos, take a tour of everything, go look at everything you can go find there. You'll find out that our basic product here at American Business Systems is our iClaim and EMRX system. It is a web-based platform, which we're going to talk a little bit about this afternoon. We won't go into a lot of detail, but there's enough information you're going to find out today that this is going to find out this is a superior type of platform to do medical billing and to also help you get in the door with that doctor. Speaking about getting in the door with the doctor, we also have several different platforms and services that you can help with the doctor, whether it's iClaim and EMRX, as you see kind of the showcase there down to the right-hand corner, or any of the other services. And Patrick and I are going to touch on some of those other services. If you haven't gone into detail of learning about those services, feel free to get back with the person that invited you to the webinar today and say, hey, tell me a little bit more about CodeWrite, or tell me about Quick Collect, or tell me about iDocs Now or Compliance Guard. They will give you some more information about that. Now, let me tell you a little bit about my co-host this afternoon. Patrick Phillips is the founder of American Business Systems. He has been everything from the founder to the CEO to the president to whatever else has been needed in here with American Business Systems. But Patrick is the founder of American Business Systems, he and his wife, Linda. Patrick has also written several books, How to Reprogram Yourself for Success, The New Thriving Medical Practice, and Cash Crunch to Cash Flow. Any of these books can be found on Amazon. We encourage you to go out there and get you a copy. But we're going to talk with you about how to use that book there in the middle to actually utilize that to get your clients. And then he is also a member of the editorial board of some magazines, the Billing and Coding magazine to be specific. Patrick, we've got a lot of stuff to cover. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Eric. Well, Eric is broadcasting today from, where is it, Arkansas?
Actually, Missouri. So yeah, absolutely.
Missouri. Yeah.
we had the notion to drive on up here yesterday, so we did.
That is great. Love to see people out and about. I think we're coming back to normal now.
Absolutely, we are.
Well, I see a bunch of other folks typing stuff in there. Ron, Trudy, thank you very much. And anybody else who has not found the question box, you'll see that it is live. And so we're going to give you some feedback during the webinar. We'll be answering some questions privately, directly to you if you type something in. Or if you want it public, well, it'll be public unless you tell us otherwise, and we'll read it out loud to you. Yeah.
Okay, Patrick, you look a little younger here in this picture than you do today. I know we all grow a little bit, but tell us about this picture.
Oh man, that was back in about 1987 or 8. That's my wife, Linda. She's the one that actually started this business, by the way. She's the real founder. She started doing medical billing for a friend of ours who was in durable medical equipment here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and he needed help with his billing. So she said, well, I don't know anything about medical billing, but I bet I could learn. So she went into his office And back then, of course, she was using a typewriter. There was no computers that were really being used for that kind of thing. And she started doing that billing. And Eric, it grew so fast that we at one point decided, there's probably a market for people who want to duplicate our success, because we became very successful at it. And so we started offering a program to teach people how to do it. I developed some marketing materials, and the rest is history. 27 years ago. That's my son Adam, by the way, who's now the CEO of the company. He's 44 years old, I think, and that's my daughter Sarah. She's not involved in the business. She's got her own family and her own career. But you know what? It was great growing up. They grew up knowing that their mom was there and was just working right there out of our home. And it's just a terrific business. If you're looking for a home business, folks, this is ideal.
It is. Absolutely. It's a great home business, a great family business to work with. Patrick, you've interviewed a lot of folks that are licensees and medical billing owners of ABS here, and a lot of them work with their families.
Yeah, we call the people who get involved in our business business owners, of course, because you will be, it's buying like a franchise. You buy your own business, but we license our software, and our training and our support is all licensed to you. It's a lifetime license. You never have to pay anything more. But the point is, you do invest some money up front to get the business going. And then, so we sometimes refer to you as a licensee, but that just means that we licensed our business to you. You don't have to get any special license to do this. Every state in the union is exactly the same, so you can do billing for doctors in any state from coast to coast.
You bet. Well, obviously, Patrick, what brought a lot of people to the webinar today is the topic of what we have up here: how to start a business that won't fail. Now, I think you had a pretty good career of starting businesses that may have failed in the past, and you've learned a lot of lessons. So tell us a little bit about what we're going to try to learn today.
Well, the first thing is that people need to realize that we have the best training that there is in America. There's not many companies who do what we do, as you know, Eric. But those who do don't have what we have, and we're going to go into that in depth here. But the right training can guarantee you success. Now, when I say guarantee, listen, folks, nobody can guarantee that you're going to make a certain amount of money or that you're going to be wildly successful. What we can guarantee is that our training will give you all the tools, all that you need to be successful. And so if you follow the system works. That's why we call ourselves American Business Systems. And those who follow it are successful.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that said, would say, and we've had people who asked us in the past about, hey, can I just go buy some medical billing software? And I mean, obviously, that might be a little cheaper than the $28,000 investment here to get started with ABS. Maybe I can just go get some marketing material and try to go out there and just go drum up my business. And we've had some people that kind of went that route, but found out that they really didn't get too far. And so obviously that, yes, you can go do those things, but that will set you really on more of a path of failure than it would be success. And that's what you're talking about here, is making sure that we get people kicked off on the right foot with the training and the success that we've seen with that training.
Right. Well, everybody on this webinar, I'm guessing, knows how to make a sandwich. And yet you can pay $75,000 to Subway just as their franchise fee to learn how to run a business. So that's the difference, is we've packaged everything together. We've already proven what works and what doesn't work. And we can save you a lot of time and money developing your own medical billing business, because we have the platform, we have the technology, we have all the partners, and we've added some other services that we'll talk about today that will basically give you all the tools you need.
You bet. Now, Patrick, we're talking about what am I going to learn? Now, the reason we have this graphic up here now is because we've gone from a live drive down here, fly down here in classroom with about 20, 25 people for an entire week. Now we've moved that to online. Now, we moved it to online prior to COVID, which was a great thing for us to do anyway. But let's kind of talk about the flexibility of learning online now.
Well, everybody's kind of used to that because a lot of kids are being schooled at home virtually, and a lot of meetings are being held. And some people are working from home, because their company said, "Oh, we'll figure out how to do this using Zoom or other, technologies." And so what we did is we moved to a virtual classroom. Now, when we say virtual, we mean it is online, but it's not just self-guided. This is directed by a live instructor, somebody who's in this business, who's already built a very successful medical billing business, that will teach you step by step. We've got several people who could teach the class. Right now, we've got a lady, her name is Cynthia, that is, I guess we'd call her our lead instructor. And she is the one that's teaching people one-on-one. You'll be able to turn on your webcams if you want to and see her, and she can see you. And you can have as many people on that training as you wish for the same licensing fee that you pay. You don't have to pay for anybody else to be on it. Somebody else, a spouse or a partner, can be on there as well from their computer in their home. So it makes it for wonderful. You can ask all the questions you want, and there's nobody else on there but you and the instructor.
Yeah, and boy, you talk about there's a little bit of money being saved there, because obviously the way it used to be, I mean, you'd have to fly in here, get the hotel for the entire week, and then if you were going to bring a partner with you, we actually used to charge extra for that, and
Yep.
actually now we've made it very, very friendly learning experience for you now. So there's a huge benefit from you. And it's not like you're just given a textbook and saying, hey, here you go, learn it. You, like Patrick said, you're going to have a one-on-one relationship, just like what Patrick and I are doing right now, so that you can be taught and then also have the opportunity to ask questions. Now, one of the first things that you're going to learn here is this circle here. Now, Patrick, kind of explain to us what this whole circle means in the first place.
Well, inside of a medical office, they refer to their cash flow as a revenue cycle. So what you're looking at here is we've tried to illustrate that, this is the revenue cycle. It includes all the things you see here: collecting their receivables. We have an automatic collection program that's built into our software. We have electronic records. We have payment options. We have all the coding is already inside of our system, even marketing to help the doctor build their practice. So everything to do with receivables and reimbursement, that's all included in our training. And Eric, I think you're going to actually show the agenda that we actually are training on right now, right?
This is the actual ABS curriculum, and you can see that there are 10 modules that will take you, what is this, Patrick, two weeks, maybe 3 weeks of training?
We've had people, take a month to go through it. Others have squeezed it into 2 weeks. So it's all based on your own schedule. You basically get with the instructor, and she tells you, here's the slots that I have open, and you just build it around your schedule. So it's very convenient. There's no pressure. If you need to change one of the sessions, you can. Each one of these are about 90 minutes. So you're looking at about 15 hours of what we call our initial training. Now,
Sure.
After that, as I'll show you in a moment, there's a lot of other things you can learn on our licensee support website as well.
Now, let me remind everybody, excuse me, we're about a little over 15 minutes into the webinar so far. So I'm reminding everybody, if you'd like to do, ask us some questions. So go find the question box over there. We're monitoring that, and we'll ask, we'll do what we can to answer your questions. Some questions we'll be able to answer live. Some we just may refer you back to the person that you're working with here at American Business Systems. And then also remember, for some of those that came in a little bit late, excuse me, over in the Go to Webinar Control Panel, there's our handout for all the slides that Patrick and I are going through today. So be sure to go download that. All right, so let's get back over to here. And Patrick, thanks for showing us all of your curriculum there, because that's pretty packed there. And I think if everybody understood how the system works and the flow of the system, that's why I'm kind of leaving that up there a little bit, so everybody can kind of digest all the material that you're going to be doing. Now you can see how we're teaching you how to start a business that won't fail. Now, here are some of the folks that have become very successful, and those that are being part of ABS, now become part of the largest network of medical billers. Kind of tell us how you kind of got there, Patrick.
Well, the great thing is that we open this up to anybody that wants to go through the training. We don't discriminate in any way. It doesn't matter what your background is, your educational background. It doesn't matter what your IQ is, or your nationality, or your religion. Folks, this is open to everyone. And as you can see, we have a diverse group of people here. All of these are real people who've been through our training and have been very successful building their business. We call it the nation's largest network of medical billers because we have more people out there doing medical billing for doctors than any other organization in America. And the great thing is you become a part of that network. You're not by yourself. When you go out, you can tell people, hey, I just opened a recent office here recently of the nation's largest network of medical billing companies. Even though it's a brand new office, I have over 400 other people from coast to coast that are running this same business using the same platform that I am. So let's say, for example, you sign up a doctor and your first doctor is not just one doctor, but maybe 5 or 6 in a group. That's fine. We have people in this network that can help you with the billing for those people until you have learned how to do it yourself and want to take that back over. So it makes for a wonderful team. I'll show you here a little bit later that we have a great Facebook group out there that's private, that's just for our licensees, our business owners, and you become a part of these people.
Patrick, before we move from this slide here, why don't you talk about this? Alex is asking a question. I'm going to ask the question to you, and then I'll have you answer it, and I'm going to let you be able to do that. So Alex is asking, what is the success rate of licensees versus failure? And I'm just going to turn off the slides here so that you can kind of answer that, Patrick.
We've gotten that question a lot in the past, Eric, and I think it's because people are afraid of they're afraid of failure. They don't want to fail. They don't want to invest any money in a business and then not do anything with it. So I tell people this: here's the success rate. For those who follow our system, it's a 100% success rate. For those who go out and try to reinvent the wheel, maybe they think they know more than we do and they want to do it a little differently. Sometimes they fail for a while until they come back to us and say, hey, what am I doing wrong? And we ask them, well, did you do this? Did you do that? No, I tried my own thing. Well, that may be why you have failed. So we get them back on track as quick as we can. We have great support people at our office here that can coach them back to where they need to be. So we really don't have a lot of people that we could say is failing in the business. As long as they're following our system, they are going to be successful. And in fact, Eric, I've had people purchase our license, go through the training, something else comes up in their life, maybe a death or a wedding or something that just completely diverts them from building the business, and they put it on the shelf. 3 months later, 6 months later, sometimes a year later, people have come back to us and said, well, I had to put this aside for now, but I'm ready to get it going. And then we just crank them back up and refresh their training and do whatever it takes to get them back out there.
You bet. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. That is very open and honest and transparent. So I appreciate you, opening that up. As one of the things that you're going to learn through your training here is not just only what we've shared with you so far, you're actually going to kind of know some of the inside scoop. And because with that, obviously Patrick being a writer and then helping out with some of the editorial boards for some of the magazines, we're always in contact with current events. And one of the things that we kind of keep up with, and so does our trainer, because again, not only is she and others that are our trainers, they're actually out there in the marketplace working with doctors. And so we're going to tell you about some of the things that the doctors are facing. Just like this article says, more than 84% of physicians surveyed by Medical Economics I'm going to move this over. It said that their practices are doing the same or worse financially than a year ago, according to that article. And so, folks, you're going to find out really what's happening, and especially since we've gone through this pandemic of COVID. There are a lot of doctors out there that are still trying to recover. I have to say this to you, Patrick. I'm working with a particular doctor not too far from me right now that's reached out to me, and I haven't seen this doctor in quite some time, but he called and says, you know what, Eric, I really need some help now with my billing, and can you help me? And it's amazing how that dialogue is going. So folks, this is a critical time right now for doctors and the help that they actually need right now.
Yeah, last week I interviewed Dr. Vicki Ratner, who partners with our business owners. Once they get involved in this business, you become partners with a doctor. Well, she said on the webinar last week that many, many doctors that she knows personally have almost had to shut down their practice because of the COVID, because people just didn't want to come in. Well, it's picking up now and it's getting back to normal. But the point is that even through that, some doctors were really, really struggling, which meant that our licensees had even more openness with the doctors. They were more excited about hearing what we had to say than ever. So you'll find, Eric, that this is the type of business that recessions do not affect it. Pandemics now we know do not affect it. Dr. Vicki said her business had tripled last year. And many of our licensees have said that they've doubled their business. So the point is, the healthcare business is just a good one to get into no matter what. And if 84% of physicians are doing the same or worse financially than they were a year ago, believe me, by next year when we do that survey, it'll even be higher than that.
Well, I mean, obviously, if you think about it, and I know that next Wednesday we're going to be doing, is this a good time to get started in a business, and especially in the medical field? I think, Patrick, this is an excellent time because, again, if you think about it, some doctors had to let staff go, and some of those people may have been their billers. And I'm telling you, the doctor that we're talking with right now is having to do the billing himself because it's exactly what happened.
Can you imagine? After seeing patients all day, he or she has got to sit there and actually do the medical billing. That would just be a nightmare for me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, folks, outsourcing is the big thing nowadays, right? A lot of companies outsource a lot of things. Well, doctors, we're estimating from what we see in the marketplace that about half of them have already decided that outsourcing is the way to go. That only leaves about 500,000 other doctors out there that would consider outsourcing. And as you see right here, this quote says, market analysts estimate that 24 cents out of every dollar is wasted on the administrative and billing expenses. Eric, that's a huge chunk out of the doctor's revenue. We can reduce that down to 1/4 of that easily, because the licensees that go through our training, they only charge anywhere from 6 to 8% is the average for the money that they collect for the doctor. So as you can see, that's a whole lot less than 24 cents, 24% of every dollar.
And Patrick, I think one of the things that we've already mentioned earlier is that one of the things that they're going to learn to make sure that they are on the right track moving forward and that it won't have them fail is to actually put them on a platform that, again, gives so much flexibility. We know that there are other opportunities out there, that their software is what's known as a server-based type software, which means that you have to load the software on there, you have to update it with patches, and you have to make sure that all the security is there. On our platform, which is a web-based system, you have everything that you're going to need to get things moving in the right direction and into the future.
Yeah, Eric, I know you're going to find this hard to believe, but there are medical billing training companies out there that they provide their software like this.
Right.
Yeah, it's just a series of CDs that you have to load into your computer, put it on your hard drive, and then you have to constantly update it when there's patches and new codes and other things.
Correct.
With a cloud-based system like ours, it's all in the cloud, which means you just log in from any computer or device anywhere in the world that has an internet connection, and boom, you're using our software in what's called the cloud. It's a software as a service, SaaS. SaaS is the way software is being served up nowadays. And we have the latest technology that's out there. It was developed by a couple of doctors many years ago and has been in use since the beginning with people who, not only doctors using the software to put their patient data in, but medical billing companies like ours actually doing the billing and providing the service.
Exactly. Um, uh, Patrick, there's a question that came in here from Avis. It is being asked, do you network via outlets other than Facebook?
Yes, in fact, we teach, I don't know if you can put that slide back up, Eric, on the curriculum, but if you
Sure.
look at that curriculum carefully, folks, you'll see that we actually have several of our modules specifically aimed at how to market this. Because, Eric, the biggest question we get all the time is, well, how do I get a doctor? How do I interest a doctor? How do I convince a doctor, that this is something that they need? Well, look at starting with module 6 there. There's an intro to marketing. We talk about warm marketing. You'd be surprised how many people have actually signed up doctors within their own warm market of people that they know. Direct contact, of course. We have business networking, and now that's all done, of course, online virtually, most of it now. Marketing books that we'll talk about a little bit later. Trade shows and expos. We'll show you how to hire sales reps. We even show you marketing via classified ads. Now, it's not what you think, but it's a very special way that we teach you to market through things like even, like Facebook. Educational events, how to deal with your lead management and do follow-ups. There's a big portion of our training, and it's all aimed at how to market. So the Facebook is really not where we do marketing. What we teach you is how to set up your own LinkedIn or Facebook page to do your marketing.
Absolutely.
Because remember, you're a business owner. You're going to create your own, everything except your website. We provide that for you.
Absolutely. All right. So questions. I appreciate all the questions that are coming in. I think we're all caught up on our questions, so we're going to move forward. I mentioned earlier that we used to do training live, where we'd have this big classroom of everything, and then we brought computers out, and then you were able to do a lot what we call hands-on training. Folks, we don't not do that anymore. We actually still do hands-on training with you one-on-one now. So what we're going to show you here is what you see over here on the left-hand corner is a picture of what's called a CMS 1500 form. That's the form that we use, or that the doctors use, to actually translate and do their billing. And so what we're going to show you here is how to take that CMS 1500 form and actually put it inside of the iClaim platform for billing purposes. Now, Patrick, earlier you mentioned that Linda actually used to use a thing called a typewriter. I think that's kind of close to the hammer and chisel with on stone. But that's what she used to put in a typewriter and fill out. Now It's all done electronically.
Oh, it's night and day. It's wonderful. And of course, it's instantaneous. Sure. Ours is what we call a real-time system. So folks, when you put the data in and you push the button to submit the claim, it goes directly to our internal built-in clearinghouse and is forwarded on to the insurance company in real time. So there is no sticking stuff in the mail or waiting for something to be faxed. It's all as high-tech as it gets. In fact, Eric, we've got licensees that they just don't deal with any paper. They don't get any paper from the doctor. They don't print any paper. They do it all electronically because, we have the technology nowadays to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on top of that platform, but we're going to share a little bit more about that platform here in just a moment. But Patrick, there are other services that you've added over the years for the team and obviously for the business owners to actually utilize, and you're going to learn how to use each one of these in your services, everything from iClaim to telehealth to CodeWrite. And so all of these different platforms and different services can be utilized to be either door openers or to actually do the work for the doctors in any of these.
Yeah, and these came about, Eric, because doctors would ask our licensees, well, do you have some way of helping me collect the money that's due me from my patients? I've got a lot of receivables. Some of them have $250,000 in receivables that they haven't taken time to collect it because who wants to get on the phone and badger their patients to send them payments? So
Right.
we have a service called Choice Pay that actually lets them, and Quick Collect, and in conjunction, that lets the doctor collect this automatically. You don't do any phone calls or any kind of collections. You don't have to mail out any letters. This is all an online cloud-based service that we offer to doctors. All of these, though, are optional, Eric. Nobody has to offer any of these,
Right.
except, of course, the billing. You have to do the billing claim. And that's because you may or may not, wish to offer these. So the great thing is it's all included in our license fee. We don't ever charge for anything. In fact, Eric, we just added the telehealth, maybe 3 months ago, and we
Sure.
didn't charge anything extra for that for our existing licensees. So
Right.
anything that we come out with new is always included as a part of your one-time license fee that you've already paid.
All right. So let's see. We've got some, and Alex, I think you just answered the question. Is there a fee for each of the services that a licensee or a doctor needs to pay to use? And I think you just answered that question. So he just said thank you. So perfect timing on all that. Let's keep
Yeah.
going. Now, Patrick, we'd mentioned real briefly about the iClaim and EMRX platform, and we've got listed here is that this is the only billing and EMR system in the market today that has a fully functional clearinghouse and patient portal. Some people may not know what a clearinghouse is. You want to talk to them about what a clearinghouse is, and then we'll kind of share this on a screen.
Yeah, well, the clearinghouse is real simple, folks. It's basically a third-party company that most software sends your claims from the doctor to the clearinghouse. That third-party clearinghouse, an independent company, separate from you, separate from the doctor, they have to clear the claim and make sure that it has no errors before they forward it on to the insurance companies. So in most cases, that's all done with an extra step there before they send it to the insurance companies. In our system, we actually let the patient use the patient portal to put in information about themselves. The doctor, of course, has that information online through our system in their electronic medical record system. And then the doctor, when they put in the codes, it goes directly into our iClaim billing system, which you, as the licensee, are actually using to send the claims. We've illustrated there in that computer screenshot the clearinghouse being a building, but it's just a built-in way of telling you that the clearing is all done by us. The buck stops here. It doesn't go to anybody else. And Eric, that's why our rejection rate on those claims is less than 2%.
Right.
In most software systems, that can run 20 to 30% rejection rate. Well, that's a lot of money that's left on the table for the doctor.
You bet. Absolutely. And so this is really where ABS kind of outshines any other medical billing opportunities out there, is because of this alone. I mean, if folks have put away aside all the other different services that ABS has, even if those are unique in and of itself, this part of it is one of the most unique propositions that you'll ever be able to share with a doctor. And we're going to show you here towards the end that we'll do a demonstration of the software for you and on behalf of you to the doctor as part of your entire marketing team here.
Right. We basically partner with you and help you to close the sale with the doctor by doing those live demos. But like Eric said, we'll tell you a little bit more about that later. Eric, let's show that slide about the patient portal, folks. Some of you have probably used something similar to this. This is all built into our system. It's all written by the same programmers. And this is as high tech as it gets, Eric. You can see on the left-hand side there in that menu that there's lots and lots of stuff that's retained inside of our patient portal. So we give access to the doctor and, of course, to the patients to go in and be able to see their appointments, their prescriptions. Everything history is kept in this one patient portal. Then that information, of course, goes directly into the system, which means you get to see all of that. So rather than you having to type in information about the patient, they're putting it in there themselves.
Absolutely. And we also put it here again, just as a reminder for those that may not understand, again, what a clearinghouse is. This is in your handouts over there. So again, let me remind you, if you haven't gotten your handout over there, and you want to kind of go back and review, what did Patrick talk about a clearinghouse? That's on that handout. So go over there and download that so that you'll kind of have that to review there. Also, you'd already mentioned, Patrick, about CodeWrite and AutoGuard. Now, this is where a lot of people, especially brand new into medical billing, really kind of have somewhat of a fear factor because they think that, oh my goodness, I need to learn all these medical codes.
Right. Yeah, and folks, you do not have to take a course in coding. You don't have to be a certified professional coders. We have those on board as a part of our service to you. They will provide the coding services that you need for you and your doctor. Now, the doctor has to pay for that. There's a fee involved in that because, well, if he or she hired a coder in their own office, they'd pay $40,000 to $50,000 a year for them to just sit there and do the coding. So we have that service available through CodeWrite and AuditGuard to make sure that the doctor is billing correctly, meaning they are not undercoding, getting underpaid, or overcoding, which can get them in trouble with Medicare. I don't know if we lost Eric or not there.
There we go. I'm out in the boonies out over here, so I must have just lost internet service just for a little bit, but I'm still here. Let's keep going on, and I'm not sure where I left you. I saw you talking, but I couldn't hear you. So.
Okay, well, these are two other services that we have that I mentioned: Quick Collect and Choice Pay. A lot of practices have a hard time collecting on the front end from the patient. And so Choice Pay and Quick Collect can replace the practice's need for a collection agency. We're not a collection agency. We can collect more than a collection agency can collect, but we do it all through high-tech technology. So during the training, you'll learn how to use these services. Automatically collects for doctors, resulting, of course, in increased cash flow. Folks, it's all about the cash flow. For a doctor, they need as much cash coming in as they possibly can get.
You bet. And then, Patrick, I know this is one of your favorite ones, is iDocs Now. And folks, even before COVID, we were all a lot working from home already. But when we used to have an office, we used to have all these filing cabinets. And Patrick says, hey, I've got a brand new service. Let's get rid of all of this paper and let's put it all up in the cloud.
Yeah, we just scanned it in, and now it's available through a service we call iDocs Now. And folks, this is a HIPAA compliant service that gives you the ability to reach out, and the doctor the ability to go and look at any document anywhere in this system. You can search it by keywords and locate it instantly. You can print it, you can email it to somebody else. Several people can be looking at the same document at the same time. And if there's a fire or a theft of some kind, they don't have to worry about it. All this is stored in the cloud. And again, it's all HIPAA compliant. A great service that a lot of our licensees use to run their entire medical billing company.
Absolutely. And then, Patrick, we've kind of talked about most of all of the services. There's so many more things, and obviously an in-depth part of that. And I think hopefully everybody that's attending this afternoon, you can start to see that all those modules that we were talking about earlier, how some people may take an entire month to kind of go through the entire training because you want to get the in-depth learning of all of that. But then that's just all the services. Now we're going to start talking about the marketing. You're going to learn how the marketing will work for you. And again, folks, I think this is where everybody wants to really tune in. So, folks, we've got about 18 more minutes left. So tune in here because we're going to talk to you now about how the marketing is going to work, how you're going to learn the marketing, because this is what's going to help you become successful in getting your first client.
Yeah, folks, we have an automated marketing program. These are postcards that we've spent over $100,000 designing our marketing materials. These are the postcards that can go out automatically. When I say automatically, it's what's called a campaign. You can put a doctor on a campaign where they get one of these postcards about each one of these services we're talking about once a month. Automatically, it goes out. You don't even have to think about it. And for a couple of dollars, you can reach out and touch that doctor every month. This is what helps our licensees to get clients where most companies don't do that. They don't know how to follow up. So this is an automated follow-up system that does that. It's one of about a dozen different ways that we teach you how to market. Another way is with our books. We actually have books that we've had published. Me and Dr. Vicki Ragnar that I mentioned earlier actually wrote a book together called The New Thriving Medical Practice. And this is a paperback book that you can find on Amazon. It sells for $24.95. But folks, you get a supply of these with your license and then can reorder them as you run out. Our cost of printing these are only about $4 a piece. But Eric, that includes their name on the front cover. So we have a forward that we've written that you can put your name on, or you can write your own forward if you'd like. And that way you can be on the cover with me and Dr. Vicki. Talk about credibility, Eric. This opens up doors you just can't believe. And of course, your name's on the inside. It's also at the end of the forward. And we teach you how to mark the book, as you see here, with little sticky tabs and highlights, so that the doctor doesn't even have to read the book. When you get this book or mail this to a doctor, when they see those little tabs, all of a sudden they start turning to them and reading those highlighted quotes. That is just a magical way to get the doctor sucked into reading this book and seeing that they need your help.
Right. And Patrick, didn't we interview a licensee last year, right at the beginning of the COVID outbreak, when nobody was actually able to go out and market? This one gentleman mailed these out, did exactly what we told him to do, and he had doctors calling him and going, okay, let's talk. It's time for us to talk.
Right. Yeah. He mailed these books out. He didn't even stop by the offices. He just mailed them out with a little note. It was in an envelope that said, please, pass this on to the doctor. So when the office manager gets it, they can feel that there's something in the envelope, but they're not going to open it up. It could be from a patient. They don't know what it is. So they just lay it on the doctor's desk. And when the doctors read this book and realize that we can solve some of the cash flow problems they have, they'll call you up.
Yeah,
it's absolutely automated marketing.
And folks, again, part about all of the marketing is obviously, how do you even know who to go talk with and go talk to? Folks, because of COVID, people have become extremely creative, especially in networking. A lot of times we used to go to breakfasts, and actually that's starting to come back. I mean, I'm starting to see a lot of these networking groups meeting in the mornings and going to breakfasts and luncheons, and all of that's really starting to open back up. But what's been great about it is that it really opened up a network online too. So we're going to teach you how to do that. And Patrick, I've even seen now trade shows being done online instead of going up and setting up and driving and flying and doing all of that and getting a hotel room. A lot of that's being done online now. So there's been some creative ways to network your business. But, Patrick, some people may not be too comfortable to go out there and speak right at the beginning. Just say how we help. One of the ideas we talk about is maybe hiring sales reps.
Yeah, early on, we realized that a lot of people don't feel that they're, quote, salespeople or marketers. And even though this business is really kind of like selling popsicles in the Sahara Desert, you're selling doctors more money, more cash flow, more revenue. That's not hard to sell at all. But if you still want help with that, there are, believe me, dozens of people in your immediate area that are ready to go to work for you as a sales rep. And the great thing is, Eric, you don't have to pay them anything. You give them the materials that they need. We have training that we can give to them, and they go out and get the business and bring it to you and work on a commission basis. So you've got more people out there marketing your business all at the same time. You can jump right into marketing while you're setting up your business by using somebody else to do it. And you can grow in markets outside your area. Eric, I can't tell you how many licensees have told me that they've got reps in various cities in the United States that are actually sending them contracts from doctors in their area. They don't even have to go out and meet the doctors personally.
Absolutely. And folks, you're going to still find those sales reps out there, because again, they're out there. You're going to find some that are just interested in wanting to add one more thing to their bag of tricks. And so that's a great way of being able to do that. Folks, again, let me just kind of remind you of our time here. There's about 12 more minutes left that we've got. I'm skipping a couple of these slides up here, Patrick, because I know there's some of the things you want to share towards the end. You really want to talk with folks here as we kind of do that. But moving from the sales reps, we're going to really show you from a consultative marketing position, really how you're really not selling anything. I think that's one of the things that most people would say, Patrick, I want to get in this business, but I'm really not a salesperson myself. Why don't you talk about what really consultative marketing is really all about?
Well, I learned right off the bat when my wife and I started the business, Eric, that doctors don't like to be sold anything. And so what I did was I developed a questionnaire. We call it a practice analysis, where you basically go in and ask the office manager a series of questions. And once they have answered those questions, you have the questions answered that give you the information that you need to go back and prepare a proposal to go back. They're simple questions like, is your current system server based or web based? How many claims do you do a month? What are you currently spending on your billing? Those are the types of things that the office manager will know. And in some cases, the doctor would know that too. But we get that information, we go back, we prepare a report. It's based on the information that they give to us. And we print out a report that actually shows them how much money that we're going to save them. In this case, as you can see, this is an example, but as you can see down at the very bottom line, we increased this doctor's revenue by $122,000. Now, Eric, that's nothing to sneeze at. Most doctors, if they saw this report, would at least ask, well, how in the world can you do that? And that's what gives us the opportunity to explain to them that with our reduced rejection rate, our technology that we use, we can get them more money in the bank. And that's all that counts for them.
Yeah, and folks, I mean, imagine that this is what you're showing the doctor after you've done this questionnaire. Do you really think you have to sell the doctor anything whenever you can show that there's a possibility of an increase of revenue, even if you only got half of that money? That's more money than what they were. That's some of the money that they're actually just leaving on the table. And as Patrick said there is all put in a nice presentation folder, and this is all the marketing material that you're getting. You don't have to spend more money on any of this. This is all comes in your package once you become a licensee as a business owner here at ABS.
Yeah, we have the proposals already ready to go. Basically, you just basically edit those, putting in the prices that you want to charge, offering the services that you want to offer. Remember, you don't have to offer all of them. And we have a presentation folder that's really very professional looking that you can put that in along with some brochures to leave with the doctor. So Eric, you know, we talked earlier about the demos. Let's talk about those live demos that we can do, not only for the folks that are on the webinar today. Folks, if you haven't seen our software, we get online with you one-on-one, and we'll go through that and answer all your questions.
Yeah, absolutely. And folks, think about this. This is a powerful part of your offering to doctors that, again, I don't think you're going to find with any other business opportunities in medical billing out there. We here at American Business Systems believe in you because you believed in us. And because of that, we actually do these live demonstrations of the software for you on your behalf. There's so many things that ABS actually does for you in helping you get that first client. Because Patrick, why don't you kind of go into a little bit about how ABS continues to make money on the back end, and why we don't charge any franchise fees, or what we maybe some people might think of a licensing fee of a continued after the $28,000 investment.
Yeah, there are no royalties that most franchises charge, which is like a percentage of all of your gross revenue. What we do, in fact, on the back end, all the transactions that go through our system and the claims and everything else is all based on, you know, the doctor paying for those fees, and of course, us making a few pennies on each one of those transactions. Well, folks, that adds up when you have, you know, thousands of transactions going through every day. So the reason we do the demos, and the reason we're partnering with you in those, is because we close, first of all, about half of those ourselves. About 50% of the doctors that see the demo, you know, eventually sign up with our licensees, and we make money on those too. So it's the American way. You make money, and we make money, and everybody's happy.
Yeah, folks, so you can see that there's a real partnership here. It's not that you're going to be out there left alone or be wondering what in the world am I going to do next or how am I going to do it. That's why these live demos really are very, very helpful. Then on top of that, the support mechanisms that you're getting, the live support that's really from coast to coast, not only through ABS, but through all of our partner relationships that we have, all our channel partner relationships that we have, you have advantage and have direct access to all of those support mechanisms.
Yeah, folks, we actually have people from coast to coast, like Eric said, that are dedicated to our licensees, helping them to be successful because, again, we're using their technology. They make money on the claims that go through as well. So everybody's partnering with you. You have a huge support team that are behind you, not only here in the Fort Worth, Dallas area in our offices, but from coast to coast, literally.
All right, and then before we go on from this, Patrick, why don't you address, there's a question that came up from Alex, and I don't know if we've got a slide about this. I know we've talked about it in a couple of past webinars, but about dental practices. Can we help dental practices now?
Yes, we recently added dental billing. We have a dental billing platform, completely cloud-based, just like our medical billing, but it's a whole different animal. So we tell people, if you want to do billing for dentists, of course, we've got the platform to do that. It's just that there are not as many people who have dental insurance as there are health insurance. And dentists don't see as many patients as a doctor does. So the money is where you want to go, right, at first. And that's the doctors that are in your area. But if you've got some connections with dentists, then you can do the billing for those dentists as well. Yeah.
Now, getting back to the support just real quickly, because we got about 6 more minutes and almost really about 5 more minutes left to the hour. As you can see, folks, these webinars can go by pretty quickly. And Patrick and I try to take what we can and give it to you to help support you in your decision, because this is so important to what you're trying to do. And so, folks, I know that Patrick wants to kind of go over, and I think he wants maybe pull up the licensee support side on his side. And I'll just share a little bit that what you're going to get out of the licensee support site, because this is a separate website that you'll be able to go to that's password protected, that you can get into, that has really over 300 business documents that you can pull down, over 100 hours of additional training that you can get, interviews with successful owners, the weekly industry updates that I mentioned to you earlier in the webinar, all the ongoing training webinars like this coming Friday. We're having another training webinar just on how to use one of our newer services to, again, introduce yourself to doctors, access to the physician partner with Dr. Vicki Rackner, how to use her books there. Patrick, I mean, we could go on and on and on, just really almost an entire hour on just what you get out of the licensee support side.
Yeah, so Eric, if you'll turn the presentation over to me, I'll actually go live here to our licensee support site and show people what that looks like.
Let me see if I can learn how to do that. Turn it over to you. I think that's maybe you right there.
Yes, and I'm gonna show, let's see, what am I gonna show here? This is my Google Chrome here, I think. Okay, here, let's see if it's showing here. There we go. Now, folks, this is live out there on the internet. Now, you can't get into this because you have to have a login, you see right here. So our licensees log in, and when they do, as you can see, it goes right to our news section. Now, what I want to point out here, Eric, is that this has been up here since 2014. So if you look over here on the right, these are all archived. Everything that we've ever posted on this site is right over here on the right-hand side. Look, I'm scrolling down. There's 2018, 17, 16, 15. You see how it just continues going? There is a lot of information on this site, folks. Look, I'm going to even show you up here on the top. There are services. All of the services have their own pages. Marketing, there's a page for every marketing. And all of these pages have dozens of documents and videos and training. There's tools of all kinds and resources. Folks, this is the most complete thing that you could possibly look for in a support. I don't know of many franchises that have what we have out there, Eric, for this. Now, while we're talking about support, let me also just show you here that we also have a Facebook page. Yes, you can join. This Facebook page is just for our licensees. Of course, it's a private group, but as you can see, There's 167 members. These are our licensees that have joined. And Eric, I could scroll down on this literally for hours. I mean, the posting and the activities out there, you actually are communicating with not only our support people here in our office, but other licensees who are running their business. So you never get stuck. You can get on here 24/7. You can ask any question you want, and a dozen people will answer your question immediately. It's just that interactive out there. All right. I also want to show one other thing, Eric, and that is our.
Uh-oh. Let me see if I can put you back over there. Right there. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to show our ongoing webinars as well. Now, this is our Vimeo page where we store these, but folks, if you look at this, look, I can scroll down this and show you all the webinars. Each one of these is probably close to an hour long. And as you can see, it just goes on and on. Look, here's load more. All of these are on various topics. We do these almost once a week now, maybe every other week at least. And these are for our licensees only. Folks, there's no extra charge for this. You literally can get on all these webinars that you want. Invite your partners, your spouse, your sales reps, whoever you want to be on these. And we are constantly giving people information. This goes back to 2014 as well. Okay, Eric, that's enough. I know we got to move on here.
Yeah, absolutely, because we're really up at the top of the hour. So I'm gonna skip over to a couple of things here, and just kind of get back into one of the things that I know that is kind of sets us apart, because obviously we are really honed in on your success, and instead of your failure. We want you to be successful, and it all starts with the training. And so, Patrick, you give 100% money back guarantee. Explain that real quickly, real briefly, and then we'll get into these 6 steps to kind of take some next steps here.
Well, it's real simple, Eric. I decided a few years back that the way I would want to do business with anybody today on the internet would be only if they offered a money back guarantee, which
Right.
a lot of people do, but I don't know of any other a franchise or business opportunity company that actually sells a license of some kind and says, look, once you've gone through our training, if for some reason you don't like what you saw, you can ask for all your money back. And we do that. The reason for that is because we have what we know what we have, and we know that people are not going to ask for their money back, although a few have, less than 0.5% over the years. But that's okay. We just believe that this is either for you or it's not, and you're the one that makes that decision.
Right. Absolutely. So let's talk about some of the next steps that you can do. Obviously, one of the things that we want you to do is get back with the person that invited you to the webinar today and ask them for a research guide. Patrick, it's a PDF, I believe, that can be downloaded. Is that correct?
Yes, this is over 50 pages of information that you won't find on our website, folks. So if you've been interacting with somebody here at my office called our business consultants, then please just get back with them and say, hey, please send me your research guide, and we'll do that. If you don't know who that is, there's an email address and a phone number there in the bottom right-hand corner that will tell you exactly, who your ABS rep is. Just ask.
And
then we have a YouTube channel.
Oh, I was going to say, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go right ahead.
No, I insist.
Oh, okay. You were showing something. You were showing, folks, this is live. This is a Wednesday afternoon. I hope you're enjoying yourself. This is a lot of fun what Patrick and I do. He was showing you the Vimeo side. Now, again, that was the videos that are for our licensees. But for you, if they were doing some of your due diligence, go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/YABS. You're going to see a ton of webinars. You'll see us. You'll actually see Patrick and me go, if you go way back, where we actually didn't have gray hair. So you can go check us out there. And then get back with the person that invited you to the webinar and ask them for a reference list. Now, these are actual licensees that you can talk with, and they will kind of give you the skinny on what's going on here with ABS.
Yeah, Eric and I can tell you anything, right? We want you to get involved with us, but don't believe us. Believe the people who've actually purchased our license, have gone through the training, and have actually built their business. We've got dozens of people that you can talk to. Also, we told you earlier to ask for that live demo of our iClaim EMRX platform. Be sure and do that, and we'll guide you through that. Just set up a time when you got about a half hour to go through it, and we'll go through that with you one-on-one.
Yeah. And then check out the purchase agreement. Patrick, what is it? 3-4 pages long. It's not that big stack of stuff that you would get from a franchise.
Right. Yeah, it's very simple, very straightforward, and your ABS rep can send that to you and give you some information about how to fund your business. And last but not least, send in your agreement and your funding and schedule your training with your instructor, and you're off and running.